All right, we've got the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and we're going to compare the two. And I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts and my experience of using both of these devices and which one I would personally prefer. Now, obviously, do keep in mind that the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold is set to be unveiled by Google on August 20th. At least that's what the rumors are indicating, that a successor is coming, and Google has confirmed the Pixel 10 series for that date. So we got less than about a month when this video does go live of the duration that we have with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, but still, these are the current phones on the market. And I want to quickly get into the design of both of these because they have massive improvements, in my opinion, over their predecessors in key areas. And starting with the Z Fold 7, we are getting a much larger display, a 6.5 inch outer display. And then with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, we are also getting a larger 6.3 inch versus, I believe, the 5.8 inch on the original Pixel Fold. So yes, we are getting a larger screen with the Z Fold 7 versus the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. But as you can see right here, there is different, like how it looks. It's more like a candy bar on the Z Fold 7. However, it is widened compared to last year, so it's so much easier to type and just do regular smartphone things on this outer display. Pixel 9 Pro Fold was the same thing too. However, they have this bar right here, which I'm not a huge fan of, and I hope that Google does kind of get, eliminate this and make it look seamless like the Z Fold 7, but it's looking like right now rumors of the leaks of the 10 Pro Fold aren't showing that. But nonetheless, this display is still really great. Now, when we take a look at the thickness, obviously, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is much thinner, 8.9 millimeters, versus the 9 Pro Fold's 10.5. And when we do unfold it, we get 4.2 with the Z Fold 7, and then we do get, I believe it's 5.1 with the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And last year when this phone came out, I thought this phone was thin, but now, using the Galaxy Z Fold 7, you can definitely tell which one is thinner. Now again, they are both foldables, but this one is more squared out, Z Fold 7, whereas the 9 Pro Fold, it's more rounded, and they both do offer an 8-inch display. However, when we run, well, at least when I run my finger across through the displays, the crease is more evident on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. There is a crease on the Z Fold 7, but is less noticeable than its predecessor. And the 9 Pro Fold, yeah, I can definitely, like, the indent is more present than the Z Fold 7. We also do get, updates with the hinge design, what they call Armor Flex hinge, and hopefully we'll get some updates with the 10 Pro Fold. But when we look at it, like, Z Fold 7 does rock quite a bit versus the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and that's because of that camera module. I haven't had a phone that has rocked this much. I mean, just, placing it like that, that rocks quite a bit. Let's kind of close the 10 and Pixel 9 Pro Fold, not the 10 Pro. Essentially, it doesn't really rock. That's actually really good. And then the Z Fold 7. If you don't want it to rock, you're going to have to go with a case. But overall, the displays on both of them are great. Which ones would I prefer? I'll probably go with the Galaxy Z Fold 7 because it just feels more premium and it's more edge to edge, both in the inner and outer. Yes, there is, I guess for some, a downgrade by including a inner display or inner camera, not inner display. They got rid of the under display camera, the UDC, and put a regular camera. Some people have argued keep the UDC because it gives that more just full screen effect, or just completely get rid of it because either we're going to use the outer display like the outer display selfie camera, or we're going to be taking selfies just like this with the rear. So it's like, if some people really like it, some people really don't like it, so I'll leave that up to you. And then with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, we get it right here in the top right, which I think it fits a little bit better. It doesn't really get too much in the way. It's still present, but it doesn't really get too much in the way. This design aspect really does come down to a preference. And then just taking a look at the back real quick. As you can see right here, I just think the Z Fold 7 is more polished up than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Again, that's just me, but I also did prefer the actual like design of the original Pixel Fold because it felt more like what they called a passport design. This is still a little bit taller and wider, so it's like they kind of slowly shifted away from that. I don't know, that's just me, but putting these two side by side, I'm gonna go with the Z Fold 7. Now, when we come to the software and the performance, I can tell you this, both of them perform very well on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, if you're going to pick up these foldables for just the regular smartphone things, that's a plus for both. But when it comes to multitasking, there isn't any foldable, in my opinion and in my use, that really comes out on top on the Galaxy Z Fold 7 or Samsung foldables. They really nailed it down with the multitasking features and just making use of everything, and also with their extra Samsung AI features. I feel like Samsung comes out on top with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold as well as the OnePlus Open. Now, on top of the AI features with Samsung, they also have the AI features that the Pixel has with Gemini, so you get the best of both worlds here with AI features. So that is also a plus. But if you are really into the Pixel user interface and with Material 3 Expressive that is new with Android 16, then you're really going to like the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I use a Pixel device, it just makes me feel really productive and like I want to sit down and get work done. And then when it comes to like the Z Fold 7 with this new One UI 8, like the One UI 7 design that I'm still getting used to, that I really enjoy, and now we're getting some subtle improvements with One UI 8, this phone just feels powerful in every single aspect. Again, that's just something like the vibe that it gives me, and I absolutely love playing games on foldables now, especially like Clash of Clans right here. I absolutely love it. Why? Because, and guys, don't judge like my thing. I kind of took a hiatus on it, but and my level's not that great, so just put that aside. But you have this large screen, and here on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, whatever, it's a foldable. But switching back to a regular smartphone, it's not the greatest. So that's kind of why I took a hiatus, because I was switching so often to a regular smartphone that I didn't get to play on my foldable, which was Z Fold 6 at the time. Now, how do these perform long term? I don't know, because Z Fold 7 is still new, but with the past year of using the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, I can tell you this, it's been awesome. Tensor G4, it's not the most powerful chipset on the market, and I think anyone who is getting a Pixel device knows that. They know they're not going to get the most powerful product on the market. They know that Google is more a software company, and Tensor is working super well. It's optimized super well for their software. It does come included with 16 gigs of RAM, and it does have that comparable performance to the Pixel 9 Pro XL in my use case. Again, I'm running the Android 16 version right here. You do get 7 years of software updates with both, so that is a plus. With the Z Fold 7, you're getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, Android 16 with One UI 8, 7 years of software updates, and again, all of those AI features, which my personal favorite is Generative Edit. But Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset is just so much more powerful than Tensor G4, and right now the rumors are looking like it's going to be more powerful than the Tensor G5. Again, Google is kind of falling behind in that aspect, so hopefully Google again, it all depends on what they see. Do they really want to have the most powerful chipset? That's really up to them. But at least I hope they take one step further and make it, close the gap, make the gap much smaller between Snapdragon and Tensor. Overall, though, I guess I'll put it this way: performance is great on both. But if you want the best of the best, you're going to go with the Z Fold 7. And then there's also just the user interface. Do you want One UI 8 or do you want the Pixel user interface, especially with the Android 16 Material 3 Expressive? That is a preference. With taking both of those into account, I'm going to go with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, because while I do love the Material 3 Expressive update here, I really do like One UI 8. It's my favorite custom, like OEM skin. It's top 3 and it's more powerful. So I'm gonna have to kind of put the Galaxy Z Fold 7 on top. Now, there is one downside that the Z Fold 7 kind of took away a feature that took away that past Z Folds have, and that is S Pen support. So for those who are looking for S Pen support, it's gone. And for me, I didn't use it, so I can't really talk too much about it, and I don't really mind it. But for those who did use it, it does make sense as to why they're not too happy with it. And it also makes sense as like why a foldable should have that S Pen support. Granted, that was an extra accessory, but still a lot of people are not too happy about that. However, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. For me, it's going to be the Z Fold 7 that comes out in this department. When we move on to the cameras, if this was last year, I would have said Pixel 9 Pro Fold comes out on top. But this year, I think the 200 megapixel, again, in my use case, kind of changes the outcome for me. Now, I love Pixel cameras. They have never let me down, and I still talk about my Pixel 4a, which has a single camera to this day. It came out in 2020, and if I were to use that as my main device, I can still rely on the camera both for photos, especially for photos, but also for videos. But with the Z Fold 7, we are getting an updated 200 megapixel wide camera, essentially the same one as the Galaxy S25 Ultra for more detailed results. But if you look at the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, we're getting a 48 megapixel wide, a 10.5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10.8 megapixel 5x telephoto, and he has super res zoom up to 20x. And then also you get 10 megapixel internal and external, front facing camera. And then same with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. But I mean, look, you can take selfies with the rear display. So like, I don't know, take a 200 megapixel selfie. That sounds better. But you do get more camera features, like you're getting log recording here with the Z Fold 7, which is a huge plus for those who are into the content space. But putting features aside, I'll let you guys be the judge and choose which one. I'm not too nitpicky when it comes to the cameras. However, if I am going to get more options, then I am going to go with the device that gets the more options here, and it's going to be the Galaxy Z Fold 7. The 12 megapixel ultra wide here, and the 10 megapixel telephoto, 3x optic, and 30x space zoom, which I wouldn't really call space zoom, but you're getting 30x zoom. It does do pretty well. But what I would have liked to see for both of these devices, take the Ultra for Samsung, the S25 Ultra, and at least for the 10 Pro Fold, take the Pixel 10 Pro XL camera setup, like the best of your best regular slab of glass smartphone camera setup, stick it in your foldables. That's at least how I would put things with a foldable, having the best of the best. Again, I don't know if these companies are thinking like that, but for me, a foldable should be having the best of the best, kind of not taking away features in a way with like the S Pen, and just keep adding more features and just making it really good because you're paying a premium. So overall with cameras, they both perform really great, but if you want more options and just more detailed single results, like camera photo results, I'd probably say go with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Now there is also like the processing and all that stuff, and some people might prefer Pixel's image processing over Samsung's, which I personally do. But again, for me, it's like the versatility. Do I get more options with the Z Fold 7 software wise and things like that? Yes, I do. That's going to be the one that I go with. Let's head into the battery, and I'll tell you this. Even though the Z Fold 7 has the same 4,400 milliamp hour battery, still performs really good. It performs better than the Z Fold 7, but I gotta say the Pixel 9 Pro Fold slightly edges it out. It also does have a larger 4,650 milliamp hour battery. Now Tensor G4 is not a hungry chip like the Snapdragon 8 Elite, even though that is more battery efficient than predecessors. So I'll tell you this, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold does edge out on top of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 by like 30-45 minutes of screen on time. I'm getting about 5.5 if I really push it with the Z Fold 7 to 5.5, 6-ish with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And I'll tell you this, charging speeds on both of them are pretty slow. I mean, I really would like to see fast charging in more devices. And I know there's like some say there's a downside with that. It's gonna have faster battery degradation, things like that. But look, when you use a smartphone that has super fast charging, OnePlus Open with 67 watts, or like OnePlus 13, you're getting 80 watts, upwards of 100 watts. I believe US is 80 watts, but you do need a special like adapter to get the 100 watts. Do correct me if I'm wrong there. But when you just have faster charging speeds, you kind of want to see it here in a essentially $2,000 phone. And we don't get that here. But, you know, we still get wireless charging on the Z Fold 7 as well as the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And then on top of that, we get reverse wireless charging on the Galaxy Z Fold 7. So if you want to top off your, you know, Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, then you have that option, which is great. Overall, what am I going to say about battery and charging speeds? I mean, I'm going to give it to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and it looks like this year, you know, its successor is going to have a little bit of larger battery too, so hopefully that's going to help with the battery life. And then the pricing here, we get $17.99 starting, US starting with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and then we are getting $1,999. So essentially $2,000 for the starting of the Galaxy Z Fold 7. And this really does come down to you. Again, it's a preference thing, just, you know, wrapping things up. Design with the Z Fold 7, I think it's sleeker and lighter. Pixel really does have a nice look though. I really do like this passport look. I mean, it's a little bit larger than the original Pixel Fold, which was like, I think, perfect, you know, foldable camera, or not camera, but foldable outer display sized phone. But again, that's just me. However, this is a little bit heavier too in size. And then when we come to the software and the performance, again, Samsung is definitely leading with having the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset. And then, you know, having, I think, better just software, you know, AI integration, all that stuff. But Pixel UI is also really great. If you just want like day one software updates, you're going to go with the Pixel. The cameras, again, I think Samsung edges out because of that 200 megapixel camera having more detailed results, and then just having extra camera features and versatility. But still, Pixel delivers great results because of Google's computational photography. The battery, Pixel is definitely going to come out on top, but you know, Samsung has definitely made improvements over its predecessor. And then the price, even though, you know, Z Fold 7 is $200 more expensive, you can definitely find the Pixel 9 Pro Fold on sale. And that being said, I guess we can look forward to the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. However, if you're not looking for the best of the best, or if you're looking for the successor to come out for the 9 Pro Fold to drop in price, that's also a thing. But overall, which one would I choose? I think you probably got it at this point. I'm going to choose the Galaxy Z Fold 7 over the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. However, this 9 Pro Fold was a huge, huge upgrade over its predecessor. So I really want to see what exactly Google does to make this an even better device when the successor does come out. So definitely be sure to stay tuned. But if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely be sure to super smash the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. That's been it from me. Don't forget to check out my latest wallpaper pack, at least one of them. This is called Color Blast right here, as you can see. And I have much more wallpaper packs as well. Links will be in the description down below. Really does go a long way in helping out the channel. But that's been it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video.